Ready to take our little piece to the next level? How about some home decor? We all love to decorate. And whether we're giving it as a gift to decorate someone else's home or we're going to use it for ourselves, these small little wall hangings that you're making out of this fabric ephemera are just going to be adorable. They're going to be beautiful in your home, in your space. They're tiny. They can fit in places where just normal, larger sized art won't fit. They're handmade, they're personal, they have personality. You can make them with infinite color combinations. We know that we're making them with fabric ephemera or fabric scraps, however you want to say that. But it doesn't matter because what we're creating turns out beautiful. It doesn't matter what its origin is. So don't let any of those scraps get through your fingers. Make sure you save them all. We made this piece last time, and now you can see that I have trimmed it, okay? I have trimmed it in little pieces of fiber that I use for the flower on this side. Just tucked it in and sewed it down, and then used a little piece of yarn trim that I have just to top the top and the bottom, okay? Then I put a backing, just hand sewed a little backing on it, used a little piece of lace as a casing, sewed that on the top and the bottom, ran a regular kitchen skewer through it, wound loosely a couple of yarns that I had that I thought would work, and made a hanger for this. Isn't that pretty? What a gorgeous little piece that is. So easy, so durable, every bit of it hand stitched, using just what we have. Bits of yarn, kitchen skewers, fabric ephemera or scraps, whatever we have, okay? Now, let me show you a second one that I've done. Same thing. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that just gorgeous? You may recognize this fabric. This was a skirt that my daughter gifted me out of her closet. You know, she brought me several pieces before she took them to the donation place to see if I wanted the fabrics. She kind of knows what I like, and so of course I did. Just look at that beautiful fabric. Well, I took that and I cut it, you know, tore it in strips, you know, just about that wide, about 3 inches, just to give me pieces that I could work with. The stem piece is off of this remnant that I have here. I just have a little bit of it left. Isn't that gorgeous fabric? That's the stem right here, and a couple of the tinier leaves back here. The rest, the flower part, the leaves are out of that skirt fabric. The casing is out of the skirt fabric. This is off of a scarf. It's a fringy piece that just, to me, made a nice statement at the bottom. Then I took a piece of the skirt fabric and twisted it, laid it on there, and sewed it down, which gave me the color variation across, which I thought was pretty. Found a yarn that would work color-wise on this to be a hanger. If you noticed, I left these ends raw. I like it that way. It kind of sets the tone for these raw ends right here. All right, on the back again, I used a backing, and this time the binding comes over the backing. I just folded a piece of that fabric and made a casing out of it so that I could slip the skewer through, just a kitchen skewer. You can buy a ton of those in a whole package at the dollar store or somewhere like that for nothing hardly. Beautiful little wall hanging. Absolutely adorable. I put a few little sequins on. Let me show you some of the detail sequins. Okay, a few little French knots up there. A couple of chain stitches right through here. A cross stitch right across there. That's the only thing different. Everything is in coordinated thread, so it's nothing glaring. Very, very easy. Now there is a piece of batting. Then whatever background piece you want. In the case of the pink one and the green one, it was linen. In this one, it's a woven fabric. Let me see if I can find it real quick for you. I really don't know what this is, but it's very rough and loosely woven. Makes a great backing to sew through, though. That's in the back here. And all the little pieces I have to get off of here. And then the the decorative pieces on top, nothing crucial. Now finished, I believe this measures out to be about a 5 by 7. Yes, that's a 5 by 7 that by the time I put the fringe on. But the actual piece I started with is more like a 5 by 6, I think. Yes. So I started with a 5 by 6 piece of batting and built from there, okay? And since this is a wall hanging, doesn't matter what you put on the back, so whatever you've got there will work, okay? You're just trying to cover everything and keep it nice and enclosed and neat. All right. Now the other one, let's see what it measured out to be. Not quite as large. A 5 by 6. So this one stayed truer to the size that I started with because I didn't have a big piece of fringe down here on the bottom to lengthen that, cause that to lengthen. So it stays about a 5 by 6. Isn't that adorable? Wouldn't these be wonderful gifts? You could start making them now for the gift-giving time that you have throughout the year and use up your scraps and just have fun slow stitching whenever you want to. A wonderful lap project, traveling project. It's small. Put it all in a little project bag and everything's right there for you. Okay? So 2 of the most adorable little wall hangings. Now you can use different things for skewers. Some people use chopsticks. They're bigger. You can use a twig from off a tree in your yard. If you have dowels that you're not using, or your husband has things in his shop that would work, metal things or anything like that, anything that's you can get through this casing on the back and tie a little something to. And you don't have to use yarns. I'm liking yarns because I have them and they can coordinate color-wise well. Okay. All right. Let me show you what we're going to do next. If I can get this peeled off without taking everything with it. Okay. The next project, I'll be using these elements. Okay. This is a piece of scarf fabric. This scarf fabric that I just squinched up, sewed to create a flower. I love flowers. Most people do. So I'm staying with that motif. You can see I have the batting. This time I have this piece to go over it. This, I'm not sure where it's going exactly. but it's going to create it, make it a little bit bigger. These pieces, a piece of burlap, another piece of lace, a torn piece of gauzy fabric there for stems. This little splash of color here for leaves. This is going to be an odd little flower. I'm not sure what that is, but I'm going to throw it in because it kind of ties this piece in. So those are going to be the elements. Now, how I'm going to put them together, I don't know. So you're going to have to come back for part 3 to see how this little wall hanging turns out. But you can see that when I put a project together, it's just simple fabric ephemera. It's just bits and pieces. And it's how and what you do with them. It's the color combination you choose. It's the different textures. It's adding a little bling if you want to. Adding a little surprise if you want to. In this case, our surprise would definitely be our little leaves, our little splash of color. So it's how you put it together. All of us could start with this, but we'd all end up with something different because the way we would arrange it and what we would compose out of it. So come back for part 3 and we will see what I do with this. Till then, please stay scrap happy.